the
Hi.
last live
Send a request.
viewing request. Go live.
I like Sorry, I deleted the app, so I have to give you permission for microphone and stuff.
There
Okay.
it is. Boom.
There it is. What up?
What is up? Here we are.
Here we are.
At the well, where we take a sip.
The well is dried up. The well is dry, folks.
The well is, there's no more left.
There's no more water in the well.
There's no more water. We need to go find other source of water.
It's my fault. I drank all the water.
You always drink all the water. See, literally, what are you doing?
I'm gonna drink all the water just for you.
What started, we started this in August. We found out
10 months ago. Congratulations.
10 months ago, we made it to 10 months. And now we're here.
And now we're closing shop.
We're closing the shop. And
we are.
It's closing time.
It's closing time. Would you like me to share on why it's closing time?
Yeah, tell me why it's closing time.
All right. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you to you, Mr. Jomar Gomez, for inviting me to do this 10 months ago, for having this idea or this vision that we could go live together and talk our coachy talk and hopefully provide some support or insight for people in their own lives. So we had that commitment together. And recently, about a week and a half ago, 2 Saturdays ago, I decided that I am going to go on a social media sabbatical for the indefinite future. It just came in really clear that I don't really have a desire to be on social media. I don't need it for my business, which is something that I was telling myself. Oh. And we have a visitor.
We do. The first interruption. Hey, buddy. I'm live right now. So do you want to say hi real quick? And then I gotta go back on. I forgot to lock the door.
Perfect. Bring Maxwell. Hi, Maxwell. Oh my gosh, the sweetest child ever.
He's the sweetest. All right, bud. Hey, can you lock the door behind you? Okay, thank you. Sorry for that interruption.
That's okay. Totally okay.
Thanks, buddy. Love you. Where were we?
We were just talking about how I'm going on a social media sabbatical, and I just decided to do that about a week and a half ago. And like, I'm not making a big deal of it. I wasn't going to go post like digital detox or like, taking a break from social media. I just was like, literally when I made the choice, I deleted all the apps off my phone right away. Had to today download Instagram so that we could go live together right now because there's 2 things that I want to mention. So one, this is what it looks like me taking care of myself. This is what it looks like me loving myself first, loving myself most. I was noticing the impact of social media and me just doing stupid shit. Like, I should check my ex-boyfriend's profile. I should check my ex-girlfriend's wife's husband's, like, catching myself like, what am I doing? Why am I spending my energy like this? This is not who I want to be. And then I started asking myself just like, how is social media serving me? And there are a lot of inspirational people that I follow and I love, like moon omens and all, I like all that stuff. And I also, it's a really big source of comparison for me. And that brings me down to a lower frequency at which I don't really want to vibrate. And I was telling myself a story that I needed social media to grow my business. And while that has been true in the past, I have this really cool new gig with this startup called Abroad. And I'm essentially working like 3/4 time with them. So I don't really need new business right now. I'm super grateful for that. Anyway, so I just came to the conclusion that social media was done. And because that's what felt really good for me. So inside of that, I had to be responsible for, you and I had a commitment together to do this for the remainder of the calendar year. And I sat with that and decided that it was no longer resonant for me. So I wanted to redesign my commitment with you and asked you what I needed to do to clean it up. And you said, would you be willing to do one more? And I said, absolutely, because that's what it looks like to follow up on your commitments and to stay in your integrity, even if you're going to break your word. So that's what this looks like. And that's what this episode is about when to call it quits, how to know to call it quits. And if you're out of integrity anywhere, what do you need to do to clean it up? That's my 2 cents.
Well, there we are. We're done. That's really it. No, I acknowledge you for doing that. It's been a joy to do this with you. The reason why I started the well was I wanted to create something where I can explore ideas and topics that I was either wrestling with or that I was either, they were either recurring themes in my own life or in my coaching clients. And I wanted an outlet to create. I didn't know who would watch. I didn't know how many people would watch. I honestly, like, those metrics didn't matter to me. I wanted to be able to use the power of communicating via word on this spot and see if I can exercise that muscle. And it's been really fun. It's been really fun to kind of get to know me in that way, to get to know you in that way. So, one thing I would offer to everybody anyone who watches this is just create for creating, for the act of creation, just for that, not because people will think something of you or not for anybody else, but just do what you're nudged to create and just create. And this has inspired a lot of things in my life, in my practice, that most people will never see. But, it's been fruitful for me. And yeah, I want to thank you for that. And I think you received that. You got that.
Got you.
What I want to bring forward today is Necessary Endings. And so that's actually a book by Henry Cloud. It's called Necessary Endings. And in the book, he describes the act of pruning a rose bush. And, the act of pruning a rose bush is an art. So ending is an art. And so when you prune a rose bush, you're essentially trying to create more beauty for that bush. And part of creating more beauty, part of preserving the beauty of the rose, part of empowering it to bloom in the way that it's meant to, is to prune. And there's an art into pruning. Like, you have to prune the top part of the bush, and then you kind of get a little bit closer, and then you kind of, like, there's 3 layers to pruning. And it's strategic by nature. So the act of ending, and it's necessary to sort of do that, and it's strategic. And so, like, what does he say in the quote? He says, pruning is strategic. It is directional and forward looking. It is intentional toward a vision, desires, and objectives that have been clearly defined and are measurable. If you have that, you know what a rose is, and pruning will help you get one of true beauty. And he also says, you can't prune toward anything if you don't know what you want. You have to figure out what you're trying to be or build, and then define what the pruning standards are going to be. That definition and those standards will bring you to pruning moments wherein you either own the vision or you don't. And so pruning is necessary. It sucks.
Yeah, I really resonate with that, in the sense, like, I'm pruning social media out of my life, and that thus includes the well.
Yeah. It's not easy. It's not fun, but it's necessary. And I think what stood out from what you told me is there's a dignified way of doing it. I love that you were clear around your commitment. You were clear that, you can redesign commitments. That happens all the time. Just because you gave, your word to something doesn't mean you can't redesign it. You can
break your word and stay in integrity. That's my distinction there.
Yeah. And so that's what I want to offer up today is necessary endings. What is wanting to end in your career, in your life, and what roses might pop up because you are diligently and strategically pruning. This isn't the end for us.
No, I mean, and this isn't the end for me. I might decide next week that I want to come back on social media. I probably won't. But yeah, I mean, I do have my messenger on. So you get, if anyone, doesn't know how to reach me via email or text or whatever, and you want to get in touch, you can totally still messenger me. You may not DM me on Instagram. You can, but I'm not going to check it. I won't check it. Yeah, but at the end of the day, everyone that I love that loves me has my phone number. And if you don't, you love me and I love you, we have Messenger probably with each other.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. But yeah, I mean, this isn't the end. I'm not disappearing for good. I'm taking some time to go in and to just be with and do me and be with my kids and focus on my new path with this business. And yeah.
I love it. If any of you ever in the future get curious about working with Emily and or I self, my website is joemargomez.com. If you're on Instagram, all of it's in there. Emily, what's your website?
Yeah, it's emilylieb.com, or you can go to emilyharuko.com. It'll direct you to the same place. And yeah, you can find that in my link tree on Insta in the bio, or on Facebook. There is in my description. My website's there as well.
Love it.
Love you all. Thank you. If you're watching this or you've watched any of our shows before, our little chats, our episodes, thank you for being here. It's been an honor to contribute to you guys. Keep nurturing yourselves, taking care. Check in if you feel so inspired. We'd love to hear from you. And, we'll be back again. It's just going to be a little while. So have a beautiful summer and take care, everybody. Thanks, Jay.
Peace and love.
Bye.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye for now.